Right, morning. So, you've just seen the intro. If you like what you see and you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below, and at some point you can give us a thumbs up. It helps share the video. So, what we're doing today, this is part one, so this is going to be, for 95% of the people, you'll be happy with what I'm doing for part one and it will apply to you. Part two is that extra bit of detail, which is a little bit over the top, but it's what stands this out from your usual, like, kind of redneck camo, kind of real tree effect, where a lot of these camouflages, people do it so it's all just one, all the way along. It's the same pattern, which when you're close up, it blends in beautifully, but when you go that little bit further, your car still stands as one colour, one blob. What I'm going to try and get with this is where I break it up a little with the depth of the paint job. So it's up to you whether you want to go to part two when I complete that one. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is we've got the vehicle here. We're going to start preparing it, okay? If you don't really care about your project and it's only a short-term thing, you don't really have to do this. A good etch primer and a good clean is going to do it, but I would always say you're going to need to key the surface, scuff it up a bit, and then, you know, you've got something for the paint to really adhere to. What I'm going to use is, I'm using a 1K paint, so it's like a hammerite type finish. It's a military vehicle paint that I've had put in rattle cans. It costs more money to do this, but for the application that we're using, it saves cleaning the gun out and constantly changing it. Okay, let's get started. A couple of different ways you can do this. Either you can use Scotch pads. If you've got, like, you know, like a really good car finish, that kind of thing, you can scuff up the surface with that. You'll know you've got a good effect when the shine totally goes away from it. That kind of gives you that effect. My paint is not as good with being an old Land Rover, so I'm using a 180 sanding disc. Okay, you could use this on a DA. I usually use a DA, but to be honest, I'm doing this as a bit of a therapeutic kind of quiet time, and I'm enjoying not having the noise in my ears and just rubbing down by hand. That way as well, I'm getting rid of any orange peel from a previous paint job and just flattening it back to a nice finish. So you can see here it's quite shiny, and all we're doing, a bit of a circular motion. You get the scuffs come up, and once the scuffs come up, you'll see any imperfections straight away, because like this one, there's a bit of orange peel because this is so big I couldn't get it in a spray booth, so what I've done is I painted it in my garden. Got a little bit of an orange peel effect on it. So all we do is, once that's scuffed up, we just keep going until there's no more orange peel effect and it's all just one uniformed, nice, flat surface. And we're going to pretty much do this for the whole vehicle. One thing I would say, don't go too mad with it, because you're going to break through on spots where you've got high points. Okay, if you do that, you're down to the bare metal. It's not the end of the world with an aluminium bodied vehicle like this, but you still want to put some sort of primer on there, let that cure, give it a little rub down to key that up, and then you can paint. Okay, so don't go too mad and go all the way through to the metal. So as you can see here in the middle, straight away, this bit here, perfect. There's a few little bits of orange peel here, a few low spots here. So all we're going to do, concentrate on those areas, and it's as boring as that. And with this paint job, the beauty of this is, what I've been doing is, I've been doing a section of the vehicle each night, rather than a normal paint job where you've got to do the whole rub down, the whole mask up, the whole paint, all, you know, pretty much in a wanna. So it's definitely a very good DIY paint job, this. Right, so as you can see now, we've got whole panels that are already rubbed down. The main thing is, I can't emphasise this enough, is all your edges. This is where paint jobs start to fail first, is your edges. Because if you don't do it properly, that's where water gets in, that's where everything gets behind, and it starts to peel and chip off. Okay, so pay particular attention to all your edgings, all your trims, places like that, and even with the masking. Okay, so totally rubbed down this panel now. So up to this point, this is now done. So we just need to get the rear of the vehicle and this last corner done. Right, so we've got this section rubbed down now, so the next thing we have to get some kind of coverage colour on here. Okay, this takes a while to build up, and the biggest thing is, don't feel disheartened when you start to put some colour on and it looks totally wrong, because this is something that it's as you build up in layers that it starts to come right. And a lot of people do is they get so fixated on one spot they just end up with the same crazy pattern over the whole vehicle, and it doesn't really kind of camouflage at all if that's what you're going for. Okay, so now we need to get something to get the shapes and colours on. Okay, so we've got a selection of colours here. Don't think that you only need a couple of colours, because you do need quite a few to break this up. You look at any kind of camouflage pattern and there is different shades. Like the one that looks really, really wrong is this one, which is oxide red, and you wouldn't think red would be a good camouflage, but look at fleck tan, it works really, really well. And you're not just going to have it as the bright red, you're going to break it up with the other colours as well, as that's dusted in with it, so it gives you, it just kind of breaks the surface up, if that makes sense. So when you put it on, you close this, kind of dust it on and have an area. Okay, see how I'm going really, really bold here, but tapering it out. Okay, and we're not going to keep doing the same direction, we're going to make it random, because everything in nature is random. Don't have to go super thick, because bear in mind, with this camouflage technique you're going to put other layers of different colours on as well as, so that's going to build your thickness of paint up. Okay, the other thing that I'd really try to do as you're doing it is you're going to want to go to a line, like say the door or to the table or something like that. Don't do that, because this is camouflage. You don't want the shape of the vehicle. So if you've got a door, have the colour go across the door or up the door, or make sure it breaks them lines up, because it's the lines and stuff, it's the shape that you can see. You know what you're looking for when you look out into some woodland and stuff. You see a shape or a straight line or anything like that, your eye's going to be drawn to it. So if you can break that, awesome. Alan, you'll be happy that these yellow bits are getting painted. Sorry, postman turned up with me jack. I feel guilty ordering heavy stuff every time. So yeah, like I was saying, go for the lighter, brighter colours first, and you can always tone them down with the other darker shades as you're doing it. Because what I found is, if you go with the darker shades first and then put this over the top, it's just too in your face, too bright. So yeah, let's get the light ones on. So get a bit of coverage on, but don't follow the patterns that you've already gone to, because then it ends up too ordered. Like you see how over the top and too bright that is, that will be toned down. The other thing to bear in mind as well is, because you're close to it, you're going to want to do small patterns. This is a big vehicle, so big patterns. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go for a big overall shade and that's going to be from when you're further away, you can notice that, and then when you're close up, that's when the leaves and smaller bits are going to be what you see. Okay. What I'm doing, this comes on very later on. I'm using the olive drab, which is a very dark colour. It's like a shaded tree bark, that kind of colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on, and it's going to look more like a tree. It looks horrific to start with, but as I go into part 2 of the video, you'll see where I'm going with this. Right, so the next step is we're going to need some sort of pattern on this. So the best way is use nature. Okay, here's your leaf pattern. There we go, a little bit more leaf pattern here as well. Sure the missus will appreciate this. Okay. Right, so what I tend to do now, we've got the kind of block colour going on here. It looks like pure chaos, and it definitely isn't what you're after. So what we're going to do now is the only colour I've not applied is the black, and the black's what kind of brings it all together and gives it the weird shaded kind of depth. We're going to go over it with other colours later on, but I tend to find with just doing it this way, it brings it all back to what you're looking for before you go in, after you've had a good stand back and have a look at what you want to achieve. Yeah, my favourite are these smaller ones. So get a really bright area, dust it on. Straight away you can see how it gets rid of that brightness, and it also breaks up the shape no end. Don't keep putting stencil on in the same way. This is camouflage, it's not in order. And as you can see here, I've got light, dark and a different shade. We're going to go across all three. Okay, keep it moving. Right, something where you've got a door handle here, okay? So we're going to break that up. Do not get fixated with just one spot. That's going that way, so we're going to go, that's going that way, so we don't want that way. The further away you have this, the more the line's going to be broken. The more you push up against it, the more of an exact line you're going to get. So bear in mind that when you're going for your pattern. Okay. what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down so there's less stuff on the back, so I can hold it a little bit flatter. Okay. Right, so hopefully now you can start to see it coming together. What you do, don't get too fixated that you've got too much light here and too much dark there, because that's the point. Okay, all you want to do is every 30 seconds a minute, stop, go and stand away from the vehicle and look if it's far too bright or if it is just the way that the camouflage goes. Okay, so now you can see we've got a bit of the tree pattern going up here, and like I say, in part 2 of this video I'll get the airbrush out and put some detail on this bark, and that'll really make it pop away from what's in the background. And then we've got, as you can see, we've still got some reds coming across through here, because you get that in nature, and we've still got, can you see the highlighting tan, which gives you the depth? So you've got a bit of tan there, you've got a bit of dark there, you know, and that kind of pulls it all out, rather than, like, you see where I started over here, and it's a bit too much of all the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand back from that, and I'm going to get a pattern of lighter and darker, which it just breaks the vehicle up. Okay. Okay, we're just getting the brightness off this panel, so just remember there's no mistakes, just happy little incidents. Okay. And draw some happy little trees up here. And just break the really, really bold colours. Especially where you've got two bold colours going across like so. You see you've got a lot of red here still, and you've got a lot of green here still. So we're going to get the drab, I'm going to place it across the green and the red, and we're just going to dust it on. And it just breaks that shade, but you still retain the colour. So can you see here you've got drab, black, green, red, all in one pattern, but it still breaks it up over distance. Anywhere where you start to see a solid colour for, like see here, got a bit of a solid colour here, and especially when you've got an item like this, which is the door latch, you're going to go across it. Okay, so it breaks the pattern straight up. We're going to go over this later on with, I mean, this is dusting over the top of something, but I've also got a stencil where it's in it, and then we'll put specific leaves on, and then we can paint them up with lots of detail. But like I said, most people aren't going to want that, they're just going to want quick, easy camouflage. See, bits like this, so you've got three little branches coming off, they're perfect, because it's enough that your eye kind of picks it up, and you know it's a natural shape, so you just kind of go away from it again. Even places where you've already got pattern, overlap the pattern, because you see here that's one of the evergreen type plants, so we're going to put this here and go over the top again, so you've got a bit of both. It just breaks it all up in your head. Right, so just about there. As you can see, this has got the trees in it, it's got the lighter, the darker. Over here, I think I'm going to bring this pattern out a little bit more, because as you can see here, that's a much more woodland than that dark kind of mess there. As we go around, we're not finished by any means, but part 2 will cover everything else. Front of the vehicle again, the branch breaking it up a little bit, up into the colours. We've run out of paint at the minute, so we've still got this section here to do. As you can see, this is how I start to get the pattern in again. As we come round into the colours. Right, so keep an eye out for part 2 on this video, where we get the more detail in here. We'll be completely round this one next. We'll get the detail bits where we actually put the individual leaves in, we get the detail into it, and we just make it pop that nice little bit. Okay, so if this has been of any use to you, hit subscribe and the like button, leave us a comment. I know this is not going to be to everybody's taste, but it's for what I do, so it's my vehicle. And then yeah, we'll see you on the next one.